The big difference is that, like, with Enchantress, okay, it's actually a slight nerf to Enchantress.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it would wait, like, say it was for 2 minutes, or 2 seconds the attack speed. One attack animation takes 1.9 seconds. If you start the next one during the attack, it's going to take the whole attack for it to go off. Instead, now it's going to, at the end of the first attack, just swap over and kind of speed up quickly.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Heroes? Or continue with general?
Hold on 1 second.
No worries. I'm hoping your stream stays alive. Oh, yeah. Petty has commented increasing the difficulty of doing level 1 Roches, which
Yeah,
I disagree with that change. I think level 1 Roches are exciting and fun and add an interesting element to the game. And you
but
definitely can't do them at lands because the crowds get way too excited.
yeah, because, like, how do you actually control your emotions in front? Like, shh, don't tell them, guys. But look, oh my God, it's and
Yeah,
then
the crowd just
the
starts
crowd goes
going
wild, and
nuts, and they're all like, you can tell you have the noise canceling headphones on, but you can still tell.
I mean, if you're at all in your right mind, you're probably gonna notice. But
Probably.
we also have some changes. Random draft increased by 2. Captain's draft increased by 3. One more per type, and one more ban for each side in Captain's draft. And that's one thing playing Captain's draft I felt was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
We needed the uh, we needed another ban in there. But if we're
Yeah,
gonna have another ban, we also need some more
more
heroes in the
heroes,
pool.
yeah. And no more Meepo with ability draft.
Yeah, rip Meepo ability draft.
That's a bummer, because that seemed like it was funny, even though I never actually got in a game with that.
So Renessa, if you'll take us away with Abaddon here.
Alrighty, so now there's an Ag Scepter, I would say buff. So now this is saying 35% of the damage dealt to nearby allied heroes also goes to Abaddon? What's our little question mark? Heroes within range of
Oh,
900 Abaddon have their damage redirected to him.
I was thinking it reflected like a weak blade mail, and I'm like, well, that's not that great. But instead, it means that all heroes near him take 35% less damage, and he heals for 35% of the damage dealt to them. So,
Yeah.
like, oftentimes when Abaddon ults, you just like, okay, well, just don't focus Abaddon, focus somebody else for a second. You can't do that anymore if he's got an axe. You have to run from him and just turn around and leave,
Yeah, you
or
can't. Yeah, I
heal
mean,
him,
the strategy was always ignore Abaddon. Now you can't ignore Abaddon.
or just kill him, heal him back up, kill him again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's a pretty big change for like a carry Abaddon, or just like a sort of axe-like Abaddon.
Yeah, I would say an initiator Abaddon.
Ooh, that
You,
could be really nice. I mean, it's also good for support because obviously you want to like make your carries take less damage.
mm-hmm.
But I don't think supports will be able to farm the Ags on Abaddon,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's the problem with a lot of these Ags updates is they're really relevant for pub play, but sometimes not so relevant for the professional meta. Because
Yeah.
Ags usually just isn't. Supports don't get Ags because they need mech and pipe and wards and mobility items, and then carries don't get Ags because it's never enough damage output. So I would say Ags are fairly uncommon unless you're burning, but that's about it.
Yeah, if you're burning what isn't uncommon, they can 5, 10 minutes in, but okay, a joke, obviously. Now we have Ancient Apparition, Chilling Touch attack speed reduction increase from -15 to -20. I don't think this is much of a change, really.
So
Like,
it's a soft nerf. It's a very 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 soft. Um, because so Ancient Apparition, and Petty has done these stats for us multiple times, is very very popular as far as the picks and bans go, but his win rate isn't actually that high. So this is a very soft and subtle. You guys are picking him a ton. This is a slight nerf to maybe incentivize you to focus on some new heroes so people don't get so bored all the
or
time.
or some new abilities.
Yeah, Cold Feet's not that good. You really have to combo up Cold Feet, and it's not really that worth it. I mean, he has a low win rate, so. Slight buff to Anti-Mage, I would say. Very, very slight. Again, not a huge thing. The area of effect is new, so this is just sort of retooling it, I guess.
Well, the area of effect isn't new. It's just increased since. Sorry, I'm gonna pull up another tab. I should have done this in the other window. I just blocked you guys out for a second. Um, 6.80. There was a visual for it. Yeah. Here. I'm going to play it on stream really quickly. I know it's not exactly cool to play videos, but this is the new AoE ulti for Anti-Mage in 80. It was from 300 to 450. So this is the old, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping. No, this is just going to be the new. But that's 450. So add a little more onto that. It's going to hit the whole team in a team fight, I want to say. Here.
A close-up, tight team fight. I mean, well, yeah, 500's pretty decent. That's, like, low auto attack range.
And keep in mind, guys, this is theory crafting. So
yeah, I know,
while some of what we're saying might not be practical, it's fun to think about. We are going to try to be as practical as possible, but, I mean, without actually testing this out, it's kind of tough. Just go to Dota Cinema. Oh, that would be a good idea, Petty.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to go through, so I'm gonna keep us moving a little bit. Axe is now pseudo-random champs, so this gets rid of the lucky and unlucky changes. Now this Batrider,
I like that though, because
you can no longer complain too much, about being lucky or unlucky in the jungle. It makes him a little more reliable, I guess. I mean, you still have to be lucky with your stacks and everything. That's always from being a jungler. It's not that big of a deal. And then now the Batrider mana change is significant, I think, but he just continues to get nerfed.
Yeah, I think he's still going to get picked though. He's such a good hero, and he's such a strong lane control hero. Like sticking Napalm is really the thing, and I don't think Ice Frog is going to change that. It's if you don't use it effectively, it's a weak ability, but if you use it effectively, it's just a good ability, I think.
Yes? We're at Beastmaster.
I'm hearing something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard something in the background, too.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what it is. Beastmaster's base damage is increased by 4. This is a good change, though. I played him the other day in a pub, I want to say, off lane, and he just didn't feel strong enough in the early game for a guy who, like, tames beasts.
Yeah, it's a little hard to last hit with him, and he's still a powerful hero, and he encourages team fighting. So that's something else we should consider looking through this patch. Is this encouraging ganking? Is it encouraging pushing, late game, team fighting, etc.? Because I think the 6.79 patch really encouraged a ganking aggressive style. It was intended to do that. It started out with it being a very heavy push style and then moved into a ganking phase. And now we're kind of back into the farming phase. It's sort of, we seem to regress back to farming
I think the thing is, though, the more comfortable we get with heroes, the more we want to just farm them up and get the big items. It's just a psychological thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Anyways, moving on to the
Bloodseeker.
1 second.
His blood rage is better, so it's easier to cast, and it's not dispelled.
I am the Bloodseeker. I was trying to give us a sound clip there, but it's okay. You couldn't hear it, so it didn't work for you.
Yeah.
But everyone else will get it. Anyways, yeah, the cast point is improved. I like that because it means he can basically cast it in between auto attacks a lot faster. I don't like it because I like to play Puck, Quap, Storm, and that silenced a pain, especially now that it can't be dispelled by, like, BKB. Wait, is that BKB?
BKB and Manta.
BKB will not remove the silence. Why, Ice Frog, why? That's the new anti-fun. I'm going to go ahead and call it.
Oh, Bloodseeker's always been anti-fun.
BKB is going to be useless against that hero now.
Potentially,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, BKB will do nothing.
Because his ult is pure damage, and yep.
Now, I guess this is... I mean, it'll negate the 20 damage a second, but who cares? Game is over, Chitus. We got a patch analysis going on, though, obviously. Now, Bounty Hunter, they increased track range to max levels, so that's good for his early mid game, and that's where Bounty really thrives. So making him a little stronger might bring him into competitive. I'm not really sure what we'll see with that just yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But I mean, these they're slight buffs, slight nerfs. It's hard to know exactly how they will play out, I would say.
You can still TP away, though. That is one thing. Thank goodness. Now you cannot TP while ruptured. Well, Bloodseeker OP. First pick, first ban. If you couldn't TP while ruptured, I think I actually would give him first ban status. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, that would. Oh my gosh, that would be ridiculous. You know, if like Blood Rage interrupted TPs or something.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I like the
Blood
track.
Rage now mini stuns. No, no.
Yeah, I really
like the track change though.
Yeah, I like the track range increase. I think Bounty Hunter's a great hero. I don't think he's overpowered or makes games ridiculous.
No.
I like this track increase because sometimes I've had a few problems with getting a track off, and I think that the amount of gold you get scales nicely so that it should be easier to cast on people. Like, I don't think that's unreasonable. Yeah. Now, what's interesting are the Brewmaster changes.
What's exciting, you mean? What's epic and what is top tier Brewmaster finally?
Yeah, I mean...
If you've not attacked for 10 seconds, the next attack will always activate a Drunken Brawler critical hit.
So that's means like you sit back.
Pseudo RNG to the max, though. Yeah. Like,
you sit back, you get a Blink Dagger, you wait, and you just blink in and wail on someone.
Battle Fury, Rapier, Brewmaster, new meta. Just walk in, hit them once, and kill them. Besides, the first hit they do to you can't kill you, can't even touch you, because if you've not been attacked for 10 seconds, Drunken Brawler will cause you to evade the next attack. Keep in mind, guys, evasion now stacks diminishingly. So I guess it's Battle Fury, Rapier, Butterfly, Brewmaster. Or I guess Sange or Halberd would be better. But
so it no longer it stacks additively instead of multiplicatively?
It would be multiplicatively, yeah. But you definitely evade the first one. Then you can evade more if you have more.
That seems like stacking it too much. But anyway, Bristleback. We've talked about how Bristleback not as popular anymore.
And the first change looks like a nerf.
A little. Now it says first stack was 5, 7, 10, and now all does the same as all stacks.
Yeah, it was 5, 7, 10.
But now what is it?
Per level. It was, let me see here. I should just have Dota 2 wiki up.
Because, like, I'm not sure, does it scale to just 10 now? Does it scale to 7 for all of them?
I'm hoping no one has, changed anything yet for Bristleback.
Make it confusing.
Because I know what it is, I just need to see it to be able to change it. Yeah, the base movement speed is 5, 7, 10. The stack movement speed is 1, 2, 3. So, like, if you had 2 stacks with a level 1 ult, it's 6%, then 7%.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Now it's going to be 3, 4, 5, which means, okay, it's got it here. New level 1, or old level 1 is from 5%
to 9.
To 9%. That doesn't...
Yeah, it's a little confusing. 10 to 28. Oh, when it's level 1 and you add a second stack, it goes from 5 to 9, maybe? This is a little confusing.
No, that doesn't make sense. I think the text is actually wrong here. It would be 7 to 9 if you had max stacks. The old level 3 would be 19 up to 28.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll just move on to Broodmother.
Yeah, it's a big change. We know that much. It's a buff to Briss, so.
And this is a... What is this to Broodmother? So she gets free pathing again when even if they have vision, so she can still walk off cliffs and stuff even if they can see her.
It's the change that was proposed on Reddit recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it's disabled if she takes damage. So if they have vision, she can still run. If they have vision and hit her, she can do it. So she, as long as she plays carefully, she's actually going to be okay. Oh, they're max values. Okay, I understand what you're saying, Chlorbenzen. And Insatiable Hunger just got buffed again. 100% lifesteal. That's not unique attack modifier.
Hmm?
It's not,
that?
right?
What?
100% lifesteal for Insatiable Hunger.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was already at 80%, but now your level 2 lifesteal is your level 1 lifesteal instead. Not,
That's nice.
not to mention, it gives you a 100 bonus damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 100 extra health per hit, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So this is it's a buff.
It's a buff.
It's a buff to her ult, but as far as the damage removing free pathing, like a blink dagger, that's a significant nerf, to be honest. Unless you're really
I
fast.
actually don't think so, because it used to just be, oh, if they can see you, you can't enter the trees. So how do you win against Brood in lane? You just put a sentry ward down, and she can't go into the trees, period.
Honestly, I didn't
She's
even
expecting
know
to be
that.
able to. Yeah, that's how it worked since 6.80. That's why she fell off in pubs. Of course, she still isn't in competitive play.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So going on to Centaur, mana cost has moved to max level. That's a good change. I honestly think that's perfect.
Yeah, he's been so fine. I mean, he's been in every single game we've casted recently, so I can tell a little bit of a nerf. Oh my goodness, Chaos Knight is the new PL.
Yeah, Chaos Knight, this is a fun change. Uh-oh.
Did you lose your stream?
Yeah, I had to go ban somebody, and as soon as I banned somebody, I lost it. But I restarted it. So just give him 1 second.
Yeah.
We'll start back at Chaos Knight, because I don't think they missed that. Terminated.
Alright, well...
Okay, we should be good now.
Okay.
Yeah, Chaos Knight, it now has a 50% chance to create 1 extra illusion when cast. It's too bad that isn't, like, to double the number of illusions. Well, that would be so broken.
Yeah, no, that'd be maybe a little bit much. Oh, I like the Chen change. I think he needed a slight buff.
Yeah, stream is still not back up. What?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've had mine running for the past, like, 15 minutes because I wanted the VOD.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. I would love to have the VOD of this up. I'm going to try resetting the stream again. Hopefully. Apparently we were on Brood.
Oh, before we went out. Yeah, well,
Okay, it's loading. We're good. We're good. So yeah, we talked about Brood. It's a pretty big buff to her. We also talked about Centaur right there, guys. We had... it's just a mana cost changing all levels to the max level. So it's 130 mana now. That's going to mean he's a little more mana hungry in lane, which is rough for an offlaner. We might see people picking up a bottle on him, maybe.
It's not too bad. It just means he can't stamp as much because...
Stamp?
Stomp, sorry. Because Blink doesn't cost any mana anymore, I think this is almost a way to mitigate that, because it's not like Centaur ever... So, what they did is they decreased the amount of mana you get from mana boots, because they took away the mana cost for Blink Dagger, and that kind of balanced it. But certain heroes never actually got mana boots, like a Centaur. Maybe sometimes he would get them, but it wasn't core on him.
This is going to make him have to build mana boots now.
Well, not necessarily. This just takes him back to where he was before, when Blink didn't cost any mana. So that's so I think this is kind of a retroactive change on that.
And it's not that much more mana, really. So it's a nice change, I'd say.
Yeah.
We talked about Chaos Knight while we were DC'd there. Centaur works in post office. But Chaos Knight now has a 50% chance to create 1 extra illusion when it's cast. I'm all for this. I've liked these flavor changes to Centaur. Okay. I got the little spinny wheel on the video, and I'm like, oh no, there it goes. Nope, it's there. We're good. But yeah, that's always been a cool hero, and giving him even more chance-based stuff is really fun. Next is Chen. Penitence cooldown reduced from 14 to 14, 13, 12, 11. Which one's penitence?
Um, it is the amplif. What is it? Nuts.
It's the amp damage, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Just wasn't sure. Instead of the nuke. Yeah. Because test of faith. There we go. Test of faith. The nuke.
If they change that on Test of Faith, it would be
Oh my
so
gosh.
broken.
That would be ridiculous.
It would be the new Ogre Magi, like really, because it's already pure damage. I mean,
Yeah. It's already really good.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just moving on to Clinks. Because the Chen ones, yeah, it's a slight buff, encourage him being picked, but he wasn't wholly ignored, so he doesn't need too much of a change.
He's a fun hero to watch too.
Yeah,
I think.
I like Chenna. You can do a lot with him. For Clinks, Death Pack cooldown reduced, so goes 45, 40, 35 now, so even better Midas, easier time using it. I'm assuming duration stays the same, so
Yeah, he's going to be
Clinks.
much better late game. Because the thing is, if he doesn't really snowball, he can fall off late game. But now that's going to change a lot, I think. Okay, video, you're still there, right? Okay, it was just giving us back source. Okay, well, thank you for that, Twitch. Now you won't stay up long. I'm going to try to have this resolved by tomorrow, guys. Hopefully, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with it, because I can't quite understand. Because it says I'm still transmitting, at least. It could possibly be something with my school's internet, but I really don't think so. Anyways, so Dazzle, Poison Touch, no longer mini stuns. Dazzle has no way to interrupt TP now.
I mean, unless you like really preemptively do it or it's a long TP. This is a huge
quick,
nerf.
they're gonna TP. Yeah, it's a huge nerf, and
like
I think we'll still see Dazzle picked though.
I don't think Dazzle deserves this.
I don't know that he deserves it, but he's been picked a lot.
Interesting. Alrighty. Disruptor, kinetic field, cooldown reduced. I like this.
Yeah, apparently Disruptor is not picked enough.
Yeah, no, I don't think he is. Because well, he doesn't have a stun per se, and he doesn't have a slow. Glimpse is very, very good, so we see him picked situationally, especially if there's a Storm Spirit. He's kind of decent
Sadly.
against Ember, etc. So this is just,
Wait,
another
He
light.
can now have ults always on? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
the Clinks can always have it on. That's why I was saying the duration didn't change, so.
That is enormous buff to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And now the Doom change, where it no longer ignores magic shields, I wouldn't say that's a buff or a nerf. I would call that a bug fix.
Yeah.
There's so many weird things about Doom. They're getting rid of
It kind of
more
seems
them.
like it should, because it ignores most passives.
No, but if there's a pipe up, like that's not.
You'd
That's
think
not.
that should save him
Yeah,
from
that's
Doom.
not
Yeah.
intrinsic to the hero. That is something outside of and around the hero. So it really shouldn't
6.82.
ignore pipe.
Doom now comes out of your computer on a floppy disk and grabs you. Doesn't let you go to the toilet for the remainder of your respawn time.
Pass. Pass on that. All right. Drow Ranger, another slight buff to her.
I like this change. I think we should start seeing more Drow Ranger. She's actually really strong, especially if you go with like the Blink Force build against certain heroes.
Yeah, I don't think she should be buffed too much more. I think
she's OP.
Yeah, I think she's getting to an appropriate state. Because now she's become a very good situational hero. If you need silences, if you have ranged heroes, that aura becomes so incredibly powerful. And then slight buff to Earth Spirit, because he's kind of so bad now that his Stone Remnants recharge a little bit faster.
That's really good.
Yeah, so that'll be nice for him. We'll see how we do that. Now, the Earthshaker change is funny, because you can no longer do Ancients with Earthshaker, which makes me sad. I really liked that. I've only done it once, and I thought it was a really cool mechanic.
Oh, wait, no, you can't do the trick on Radiant where you just block all the creeps into the woods?
Yeah, no. You cannot do that.
No, you can't. Okay.
Yeah.
Echo Slam no longer ignores units that are invisible. It ignored units that are invisible. What?
I guess so. I didn't realize that either.
My question is, did it not damage them, or did it just,
not stun them? I don't know. Interesting.
Chlor, his win rate is what makes him, quote, not broken. Even though once he gets in competitive, he may still be broken once someone figures him out. It's kind of like the Ember thing, where it's like, oh, well, in pubs he's and then a pro picks him up, and it's like, okay, he's so OP, let's play him. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not in Captain's Mode yet, so we haven't seen him picked up and really done well yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Echo Stomp, mana cost lowered, so that's buff.
I like that. Elder Titan's always had a big mana problem.
Yeah, and then Echo Stomp damage also buffed, so that's really nice because they nerfed Elder Titan a little too aggressively, in my opinion.
Well,
because they
nerfed his
really
other
weak.
skills,
Mm-hmm.
but a buff to this will actually make it worth picking up or worth actually leveling. Because some offlaners will put 1 point in it, but putting 2 or 3 points in it before like you don't have anything else to put anything into is kind of, oh, why would you do that? Yeah. Whereas now, if you want to pick it up for the lockdown, it's really good, and it's also investing a point in scaling because it pretty much didn't scale much other than duration and mana cost, which wasn't a great trade. So now you add a little bit of damage, and keep in mind the damage is actually 10 per level here because it's both physical and magical damage. If you catch them in both the Spirit Stomp and the Titan Stomp.
Yeah. And then you don't have the penalty of the mana increase.
Yep.
Right. So Ember Spirit, guys, the big nerfs that everybody's been waiting for. Searing Chain's duration reduced. I really do like that. I don't think this cripples the hero. I think it makes it more realistic because Searing Chains do quite a bit of damage. So now the damage scaling is a little bit better if you hold over the question mark. And then the Sleight of Fists bonus damage decreased a lot.
Well, it scales a little bit better, but it actually does less damage. Oh, total damage is still this.
Yeah.
So it's actually the exact same damage.
But they're not disabled for as long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I missed that word, so thank you for pointing it out.
I missed it too for a second. This is a thing for IceFrog to say, hey, you need to put at least 2 points in this if you want it to be good. Mm-hmm. Which is one of the things, because the mid build with him is 1 point Searing Chains, Flame Guard, 1 point Sleight of Fist, max Flame Guard, max Sleight of Fist. We can even put points and stats over Searing Chains if we want to, because it's not that great scaling. And now it's going to be a whole nother second of stun, which is going to possibly be the difference in you winning your lane or not. So Enchantress, we talked about a slight nerf to her, but Untouchable slow duration is increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Now, Renessa, you remember the infamous Revo's Gonna Solo Rosh with Enchantress game, don't you?
Oh my goodness, that...
It was like I was drunk or something that day.
I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, you've been in the Rosh pit for forever while dying, you almost die, like what is going on?
I will admit, it did almost turn the game around. Almost.
Sure.
But, this slow has always been something I really have liked, and I think putting 1 point in it now could be a really big difference in your survivability early on.
I actually build very different from what you do on Enchantress. I 1 point in Enchant, 1 point in Heal, 3 points in Untouchable, and then I go back to Magic.
I like that build better, honestly. Yeah. But the game we were playing, the situation, I thought
I understand it's situational. It's just the only time I've seen you play her. So I usually I usually go high Untouchable because like the Enchant, I usually give up on creeps after a while.
Okay. Enigma's Midnight Pulse is 150% bigger.
Yeah, that's a really nice change. I think Enigma's gonna like that.
Yeah.
All right. So from the things we've seen so far, is this encouraging ganking, team fight, push?
Team fight, for sure.
I'm not seeing any push yet.
I mean, yeah, there's a buff to Broodmother, but she's never even picked, so of course. A buff to Brewmaster is saying team fight. A buff to Axe is saying team fight. Not a significant nerf to Ancient Apparition is saying team fight, especially when he's so picked. You've got Disruptor, you've got Earthshaker getting an ult buff, you've got Elder Titan getting a buff. All these heroes are all about team fight. And that's what IceFrog is trying to do that. Now it fits with the AoE of Black Hole. I am not so sure.
Yeah, now I would say this is almost a buff to Initiators.
Yeah, that too.
So, alright, so Faceless Void gets an agility buff and a huge turn rate in buff. I mean, he goes from a 0.5, which is 0.4 is the lowest, to 1, which I think 1 might be the highest.
It's now bigger than Black Hole.
Yeah, I didn't think Black Hole was quite that big.
Yeah. 500 radius for the pull and the silence. You have to be within 450 for the far damage, within 400 for the close damage. And, oh, that's the range. Never mind. We're good.
Yeah, so.
It's 100 more then.
So buff to Enigma, buff to Faceless. The turn rate, I think, is actually a really significant buff because it makes last
you gotta
hitting
realize...
a lot easier and chrono movement a lot easier.
Well, chrono movement wasn't an issue, I don't think.
Well, no, but if you go to attack one hero and then have to have a slow turnaround to attack another hero...
yeah, it's like, okay, attack, and you wasted part of your duration there,
wouldn't think of that, but I think that might be the intention behind this. It makes it...
The other thing is his time walk, I think. Being able to quickly turn and get out of situations, because that's time that you could be getting stunned if you're not careful. Yes, time that you could be getting stunned. I said that.
Now, Gyro. Homing missile now hits invis, so you can't disjoint it anymore.
Well, you never really disjointed the missile. It's still stunned, but didn't do damage, right?
No,
It was one of those.
Yeah, something like that. But I like that because I didn't really like that mechanic. I thought you should have to actually hit the homing missile rather than just have the easy invis out. And I like that the amount of hits it takes goes up because, you know, as you go up in levels, your attack speed goes up. So it should become harder to kill the missile.
Never mind. The missile will follow and hit invisible units, but have no effect.
That's what I thought. I thought you could just get rid of it entirely by going invis.
The other thing is, the hits required to destroy is really big, and that means that it's really worth leveling, which I've always thought the steel was worth leveling. It can potentially do 400 damage.
I still don't think it's worth leveling.
400 damage. I think this makes the hero more flexible, at least. But leveling it to get the extra hits required to destroy is going to make it really hard, because sometimes with ranged heroes, if you were fast enough and you could micro relatively well and keep stutter stepping, you could kill it before it hit you if you were really good with it.
If you're a sniper, you can kill it, but
yeah, that's pretty much the only one. A lot
of times early game you have a hard time hitting with 3. I think the hit change is to make it more relevant into the late game because Gyro as a hero scales very well into the late game except for this spell. This spell is just kind of like spend a few seconds hitting this homing missile. This makes it a little bit more of a threat and keeps him a little more relevant because we have seen him fall off in popularity recently.
Okay, I've heard about these coddle changes, but I hadn't looked at them yet. We're not going to talk about them just yet. We're going to wait.
All right. Well, we can move right along. This is a long list, and we had a long night of casting, and my voice is a little rough, so I won't mind.
Mine is too.
So Huskar Burning Spears. Yeah.
No longer a unique attack modifier. You can stack lifesteal. You can go Deso. You can go Scotty. Yeah, you can go Scotty. What else am I missing here?
You can go Scotty Maelstrom and lifesteal.
Oh. You can go Scotty, Lifesteal, Burning Spheres. And there's already a slow on Huskar's ult. I'm going to have to try that. That could actually be really good for him. Because I think part of the problem is he attacks too slow. And, wait, you could go Mask of Madness.
Yeah, no, we talked about this during the cast when we were waiting through a pause. I remember.
I didn't think about Mask of Madness, though.
No, that was the very first thing you said.
Oh. I didn't mean to say that then, I guess. No, we were talking about Ursa, remember?
Oh, yeah, and then I said Huskar. Yeah. And then you said Mask, so...
It didn't connect there. But yeah, that's a... for Huskar, taking more damage is not exactly a really bad thing. So, as long as you turn it on after you leap. Because otherwise that means that you deal more damage to yourself, and that would not be good.
Yeah.
But
so you just have to have good control of that. For Invoker, Ghostwalk no longer slows magic immune enemies, so that sounds like a bug fix. And then the EMP delay, I like this change. It doesn't totally make Invoker irrelevant like the last time he got nerfed. It just makes him a little tiny bit more balanced. But, he's still a very encouraging to pick because he's still very powerful. But this just gives you a little extra time to get away from that. Now, these Jakiro, this is quite a bug.
It's increasing the skill cap of the hero, too, because if you can land a good Tornado EMP, there's not really a change here. But if you're just using EMP as a zoning spell, which I've sometimes done in pubs, shamefully, then it's going to be a really big change, I think.
Sorry, let me just type something.
Oh no, that's fine. Jakiro, his dual breath range, this is the same as last patch, the just tiny little buffs for Jakiro. Just as faint as can possibly be.
Yeah,
Dual
no.
breath range increased by 50, that's like an inch. Liquid fire level 4 cooldown reduced from 5 to 4. Okay, whatever.
The Agnum's changes are huge, though.
Okay, yeah, I was wrong about this. Duration doubled pretty much, and
range is doubled when you get Ags now. Because range before was only 900, and your duration is doubled.
What?
Jakiro is someone who can sometimes get an Ags just because he has so much AoE damage. He ends up killing.
And it's already been a good upgrade.
Yeah, you've actually
seen already
Jakiro's
a good
getting
upgrade.
it. Yeah. So let's see. Juggernaut.
This is a team fight buff.
Yeah,
it's a giant team fight buff. It's like,
buff.
Come team fight with me. Juggernaut base attack time improved. I like seeing base attack times get changed.
It really messes if you're
heroes.
really used to last hitting with someone, though. It totally messes with you.
Oh no, for Juggernaut that'd be fine.
I can't last hit with Juggernaut to begin with, so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, Keeper of the Light. The exciting upgrade. We have an Agnums for him, and it's awesome. You get to stay in your ult for forever, which is insane, because you just summon people constantly, and you make everybody miss all the time.
I've got it, Renessa. Since he's an old man anyway, if you get an Ag Scepter, you die and go to heaven, and you're always in the light. There we go.
Sure.
Okay,
So
it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be.
It was cute. We'll go with cute. And then, so, Keeper of the Light gains unobstructed vision?
In the daytime.
So is that like the Night Stalker can see over things with Ag's vision?
Wait a second. Yeah, it's gotta be. Because now, the OP strat, okay? You pick Coddle and Night Stalker, rush Ags on both, and you always have vision of everything. I know it won't be... It's gonna be nighttime more because of the Night Stalker. But
that's okay.
I could see them actually, in a later patch, adding a buff that says if Coddle gets Scepter, it increases daytime by this long or something.
Maybe. That might be a little overpowered, because right now, I mean, look at the amount of heal he can give. 75% of the damage? Like, that does a massive amount of damage already.
A lot of things that people have been talking about in the past has been, why is there not a counter to Night Stalker? Or at least, why isn't there a day something?
Person, yeah.
Day man.
That one. Because, I mean, Luna is also nighttime, so.
Yeah.
All right.
And Mirana, and then I was thinking maybe Ember Spirit or Phoenix would fill that role, but they never quite did, and yeah.
Yeah, Coddle's good, though. He's got all the Blinding Light, Illuminate, everything's already named appropriately. Kunkka, definitely
big buffs.
Not only buffs, but also things that just make him easier to sort of deal with.
But also, like, makes him utility better. X marks the spot can last twice as long on allied heroes. That's 8 seconds where you can dive.
Does that mean you can TP out, heal, and then get X back?
Wait a second. Can you TP out during X? I'm not even sure you can, but...
I totally think you can.
Okay, so, Renessa, you haven't been around for some of these, but some of the Brazil players have picked Kunkka as support in the past. Okay, interrupts channeling spells on returning. If the target becomes magic immune after spell is cast, cannot be dispelled by anything, except for, I guess, magic immunity.
I think you can TP out.
It looks like it. Oh my goodness, that would be insane.
Super long heal. It would be a few seconds, but it could be really useful. You could refill a bottle. You could pick up an item. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool.
mean, he's like a manly chin now. Wait, can you X yourself?
Yes.
Can you X? Oh my. He's now the best mid.
Could TP home and fill your bottle.
It's Ember. It's Ember in boat form, I guess. And then the boat gets buffed, too. Like, Torrent is a bigger AoE. You've got a ghost ship AoE indicator for allies, so they can actually see where it's laying down. So you don't have that problem where you throw a boat, and there's an X, and somebody's like, okay, well, they're going to be right on that X. I'll just stun them right there. And then the boat somehow misses, which baffles me every time. And it also, 2 more seconds of rum. More rum, please. Like, seriously. I think this is great. I love Kunkka as a hero. He's a pain to play against in mid, but he is so fun when he gets online.
Yeah. Now,
and keep in mind, Ghost Ship does like 600 damage if it hits. And even if it doesn't hit, now you've got a 10-second buff where your damage is going to be absorbed. Huh? Like,
All right. Well, moving along, because again, I think we're only halfway through the heroes. So,
yeah. There are not that many item changes this time, though.
okay. Yeah, the last time there's a lot of item changes. It looks like Legion Commander got a buff, which
It's a
confuses me.
push counter buff. It's a slight nerf. Base damage is rescaled on overwhelming odds. It's higher at low levels, but lower at high levels because as as the game gets later, there's more creeps, so you don't need the damage as much at high levels because you're going to have more units to nuke and therefore going to get more damage.
Oh, I
You've got a
see.
little bigger AoE, but not much. It's about a little more than the Kunkka size buff. You've got Suedo RNG again, and more damage per hero. Actually, a lot more damage per hero, like 45 damage slapped on top of the final level. That's pretty big. Not to mention the first level now does as much damage as the last level of the previous one. It's a pretty big buff. I think we're going to start seeing her soon. Is she in CM yet?
No, she's not. So
Okay.
I think they're probably gonna see how these changes go
Yeah,
because some
and then we'll
people still
maybe.
consider her a little overpowered, and then maybe they'll put her in CM. I would like to see her there because she's kind of like a bat rider just by you ulting someone and taking them out of the fight for a while. So that's nice. I now this Leshrac change I think is wonderful because so many people discount Lightning Storm entirely and don't use it because levels
Wait.
on Leshrac are
Whoa.
so are so useful, and
Oh my
this
goodness.
is a really really huge change to them. This makes him very very powerful, especially because you just get one level in it and you get the slow and then you level other things, but it actually makes Lightning Storm useful for something other than a mid Leshrac.
I think what's the cast time or the set time of whatever for the stun?
I'm not sure what the delay is.
Stun delay 0.35 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, you now can actually land your stuns with less trap.
Oh wow.
That's what it's for. That's exactly what it's for. Because I looked at the duration and I'm like, that's really weird that he just do it for half a second. But then I thought about it, and that's why.
That's really nice.
Frost armor on buildings? What?
Yeah, so Lich
Oh
can
my
now
goodness,
cast
that's
Frost
really
Armor on
good.
buildings. Yeah, that is. I really, really,
Aghanim
really like that.
Scepter Chain Frost no longer has a bounce limit,
So it will
so
literally keep
if your
bouncing.
allies are really stupid, build an Ags. Like if they are so bad at positioning, you just build an Ags and go to town on them.
Yeah, if your enemies are stupid.
Lena is now much more like my girlfriend, redheaded, and now more of a softball pitcher since her attack range has been increased.
Even more, so she can harass even better.
I mean,
And
when are we
Ags.
putting her outside XP range eventually?
Yeah.
Like, but Ags goes through magic immunity.
So zap constantly. Burn, baby, burn.
Damage can still be reduced by normal spell resistance, but it's like, let me see, because if I'm right about it, the Ag Scepter upgrade,
Increases the damage as well.
oh, it doesn't increase the cooldown or decrease the cooldown.
You know, but her cooldown's really good anyway.
It's 50 seconds, yeah, for a 1250 ult. That's insane. Okay, towers will slow creeps with frost armor. I would think so. That would actually be really good.
Yes, because it should still slow them down.
Ooh.
I like the Hex rescale on Lion because giving him the better Hex was supposed to increase his popularity as a support, and he's still not that good.
I still think
like
the problem with
rescale.
him is his mobility. That Shaman is so much better in the current metagame, and he's a lot more mobile. His AoE nuke gives him the chance to farm in the jungle if he really needs to, and he's just a kind of a better Lion, in a way. Because, yeah, Lion's ult does massive damage to a target, but it can't be used on towers, so...
If you get an Axe, though, it's AoE now, so there's that too. Lone Druid, slight buff. Luna.
I would say a pretty big buff, actually. Think about how much... That's a free ring of health for... Or a free ring of regen, at least, for your level 4 bear. Like, that's pretty big. Especially since he doesn't benefit from attributes, and so it's really hard to build regen on him.
So for Luna, the base agility reduction, I really
It's actually
like
a 4
this.
base damage nerf.
Yeah, I really like that because if you go first point in your passive,
The patch is weird,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you go the first point in the passive, then your last hitting is unparalleled. You have ridiculous amounts of damage, especially
Yeah,
since you buy some agility anyway. Like it is absolutely insane.
as if you needed to. But yeah, I really like that too. Shapeshift no longer providing
The
bonus health
bonus.
on Lycan. That's a big deal,
Yeah, so
I
he can
think.
still run away, but he doesn't instantly become super tanky. So that's another. You know what I like
It's
about these
the
changes?
it's
The
the Alchemist nerf
mhm. the
once again.
past, yeah, the past nerfs and especially the past nerfs, like the buffs have been fine. The heroes have been taken down way too far. Like when
Yeah,
Invoker's base damage got destroyed,
same
he
with not.
got knocked out of competitive Dota for like what 8, 10 months. I mean, it was ridiculous. Nobody really started playing him until the recent buff to him again. Like you saw Hani or Dendi pick him up occasionally, but it wasn't the same. So I like that
And it
this.
was generally like a troll game or something.
Mhm.
Like,
I like that these nerfs are gentler and they allow for teams to continue with their strategies, but just not to have them be as overpowered. Like, do you still first ban Lycan or Ember? Maybe not. Maybe there's someone else who's gotten powerful enough that you need to start thinking about them. But in some games, maybe you still ban the Lycan because
yeah,
you don't want to deal with the pushing.
I want it to, and I think Ice Frog would feel this way too. I'm not actually Ice Frog. Let's make that clear. But I would want it to be where you ban what you don't want to play against, not oh my god, like an OP, we must ban him every
Hmm.
time. That's not as big a deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be because that forces you to play in a different meta game. Magnus, we got some changes to Skewer. Remove max target limit. That's good. Range increased with just better scaling. That's really good, actually. Because early on in the mid lane, you could kind of ruin control with it, but not really. And half range at level 1 is kind of yeah.
I really like the Medusa changes. It means that she can
Uh,
farm better at lower
oh
levels.
my.
Mystic Snake has a lot more power, and Mana Shield is much more powerful as well. I mean, Medusa has
Oh
really
my.
low stats, takes a long time to get online, so I like this.
This is my favorite carry. I don't care what anyone says. I know I can't
She's
play
my
carry.
favorite too. I think she's
If
so
you could just go into
wonderful.
the jungle and rice for an hour and then come out like, okay, team, have you won yet? Nope. Well, let's win. Like literally, like I played a game once where I was 0 and 5 at like 10 minutes, and then at 30 minutes I had a butterfly, a manta, and something else, and I rampaged. It was like, yeah. And somebody on my team was like, Medusa's so noob, Medusa's so noob. Then I rampaged, and I'm like, Medusa's so noob. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, I think she's great. I like the Meepo change as well. So his base movement speed has gone up 10.
Fullback
So
must be weeping right now
yeah,
because
it
if
makes
he had the extra move speed, he would have survived a lot of times there.
yeah, maybe. So it makes him just a
Oh
little
my
more. It
god.
makes him farm faster and get away a little bit better. And I think this hero still needs a little bit of a buff because while he can do massive, absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage if played exceptionally well, you kind of have to be against someone who doesn't know how to play against Meepo. At the pro
Yeah,
level, you can still deal with him fairly well.
unless you're like really good at Meepo, and even
Unless you're
fullback
no
is
tail.
very good at Meepo. I mean, he didn't do so hot with him tonight, and
Yeah.
well, that's too bad for him. Now, Sacred Arrow's vision reduced. These are more nerfs.
Yeah, it's another gentle nerf though. Marana is still
Yeah,
incredibly popular, so you know what? We're just gonna cut down the vision of that arrow so it can't be used to scout quite as effectively. Just
next hero,
plain
like
subtle nerfs.
10% damage dealt reduced, but people are leveling the mirror image. I don't think that's the big deal. I think it's Riptide, which is the farming thing. Negative armor no longer goes through magical immunity. This is one thing that really affects her jungling because she can't kill mud golems as easily now.
That's
Because you could Riptide the
interesting.
mud golems and get the negative armor and then right click them on down.
See, I disagree with that. I think negative armor, because it's armor, shouldn't be affected by BKB. I think that goes against the way
Yeah,
the game is structured.
but let's just realize this is Naga we're talking about.
I know, and
She's a little broken right now. If she can farm slower, we need her to. Area of effects is reduced from 350 to 320. That's just a slight nerf. It makes her not as much a mid and just kind of a only safe lane carry Naga.
Mhm.
Now, Necrolite, I love this first change
Yeah.
more than the second. I'm just
Oh
gonna
no,
go ahead and say it.
I think the first change is great because this aura is already so obnoxious and now it's even bigger.
I'm gonna go to mid lane. I'm gonna just level Heartstopper Aura, and ta-da! You suddenly just drain all your regen. You're gonna like if I know I'm gonna be mid against a Necro, I'm now gonna pick up 2 sets of tangos instead of one because I am not gonna like that.
Hmm. And
It
then you add on if
especially if
he
you rune
kills
controls
you.
well.
Yeah, well, which he should be able to. He has the
Well,
skills to rune control. And then if he kills you, you're dead for forever. Imagine that late game. 30% of your respawn timer when it's at 90 seconds. You're, you're dead for 2 minutes. You're down for 2. That is unbelievable. And then if you
yeah.
buy back and he kills you.
With Axe, you. Oh wait.
No, it's not with
Oh
X.
my.
That's just it. You just get that.
Wait a second. So since it's such a long respawn time, couldn't you buy back and then wouldn't it make your respawn time even longer?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is. This hero needs to be in the metagame right now. I want him. I want him so bad. I've always wanted him.
Hates
he can build. If he can build glass cannon, he is so good because you just kill everything and get so much regen. You don't even need a base health pool if you can live long enough anyway. Yeah.
Right.
I've played that a couple times, and when it works, it's glorious. Anyways, Night Stalker, darkness now affects vision of buildings. I thought it did, so bug fix again. Nyx Assassin, impale increased by 2 seconds, but isn't blocked by Linken's, which I think is a good change since it's a targeted or not a targeted ability.
Yeah, I would say that's it didn't get changed when it got taken away as targeted, and they probably thought it just wouldn't pop it, but it does still. So interesting.
Bug fix again,
ogre
but
buff. There's an ogre buff. They've seen him a little bit. And they want to see more of ogre.
They finally increased his cast animation. I'm really happy for this because he was against like Clockwork or someone like that.
Yeah,
he was really almost impossible to play because he did the Earthshaker thing, like the I'm gonna okay now, and it was literally multicast, but it was multiple attempts at casting instead of multiple casts. Yeah. And then base armor increased by 1. This may not seem like much to people, but let me just pull him up on the wiki and let you know the craziest thing about Ogre.
Tanky already, like he has really nice strength gain.
Well, yeah, and his armor, he starts with 5.96 armor.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
Let's let that sink in. Doom starts with 0 armor.
Doesn't he start with 1 now, or does he get 1 earlier or something?
He gets better growth, but it's only 1 armor, or only 0 armor, I want to say.
Okay.
Anyways, Doom starts with 0 to 1 armor. This hero is one of the dumbest heroes in the game, but at least he's wearing something strong when he comes out the gate. I believe in you, Ogre. Skill, not luck.
Alright, Omni Knight. This is a buff.
Ooh.
This is a buff. It's a buff and a bug
AoE is bigger.
Yeah. So, which is so obnoxious because that does
I wouldn't call this a bug from Repel. But
it makes sense. It's like a sense-making change.
Well, BKB has always removed runes unless they. I'm just gonna look. Changed. They didn't change that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this will still. I bet this might still remove runes. Maybe not. It depends on how they tooled it. And then the Guardian Angel goes for longer now. So more buffs to Omni. I still don't think he's gonna get picked that much. I mean, he doesn't have a disable.
Okay. This is what makes me think. This is what I'm thinking of. It seems like it's a buff to carry Omni, which I know isn't picked up in competitive play. I know.
But it's still fun.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so good if you can get it. Like, Scotty Sanchanyasha, you don't have to build BKB because he's got one for everybody. And, I mean, why would he keep buffing Guardian Angel when it hasn't even been picked up yet? Well, because he's trying to say, look, put this hero in a farming role. He's great for counter push. If he gets an Ag Scepter, that's 10 seconds you can't hurt towers. And they regen. This is like tree times 10. Well, times a few anyway.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
You get fortifies all the time.
Big buffs for PA. Stifling Dagger cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. You can already spam that thing. And now you can last hit with it even better. I think we might even see her come back into the mid lane a little bit. That's one of her real strengths, is that she doesn't have to rune control. She can just farm. And Stifling Dagger can be used to play against ranged heroes because you can just farm with it instead of actual spells or actual right clicks.
Yeah, and I mean this evasion 50%.
Yeah, it's instead of 5 per level and then 10, he's made it more consistent and given 10 per level, but that means you get 10 more in the end, which is.
I mean that's insane.
Every other attack is going to miss now.
Oh goodness.
Oh my goodness. Icarus Dive cast point extended. I like that a little bit. Damage reduced on fire spirits a little bit.
And
Health cost increase. I like these nerfs. I played against Phoenix in a pub today. It wasn't fun.
yeah, still overpowered. Not ready for Captain's Draft yet.
I wouldn't say overpowered, but a little too strong.
It's pretty powerful.
Pugna will be back.
Yeah, Pugna. This is
Decrepify mana cost reduced. He's going to be able to be a more defensive point.
another war duration increased, which is obnoxious.
Team fight.
Team fight, right?
Yeah, that's just team fight.
This isn't Nether Blast. This is the Ward and Decrepify. So this is the team fight aspect of Pugna. Now, here is what I think you have been waiting for. These are a Quap buff. It makes her better.
Completely unnecessary buffs.
But it might bring her back into the game. Maybe this was the pros plan. They all agreed. They were like, okay, guys, we're not going to play Quap. We're going to wait. Ice Frog is going to be like, so why aren't you playing this hero? He's going to make her even better, and then our games are going to be so much more fun.
Yeah, like, guys, okay, we're going to make a band not to pick Quap. I know that Scepter upgrade is so good, because, let me just get on my soapbox for a second. It is a 40-second cooldown on a 700 mana cost, or a 700 damage, I don't remember the mana cost right off the top of my head, ult. What's another hero that gets picks up the Ag Scepter for damage on their ult or cooldown or something? Like Clockwork, of course, his is for utility.
I can't think of anybody else. Void, if you're burning.
I guess, yeah. Razor. Okay, so there's not that many, but this is the best Ags upgrade in the game other than Clockworks or Tinies, in my opinion. And Tinies, do we really call that an Ags upgrade anymore? Let's be honest. So when that got changed and nobody still picked it up, I'm honestly kind of surprised. Now that Shadow Strike's been picked up, though, this makes her a pain, pun intended, to deal with in lane. Normally people just put 1 level in Shadow Strike, but this is a cooldown reduction, which sometimes you'll go for a kill, you can't use it. It is pretty high mana cost, Born to Kill, I will mention that, but that is a minor thing for her if she's rune controlling well, which she already has a blink to do so. And then it's a 4-second cooldown at max level. Keep in mind, guys, its duration, Dota 2 Wiki,
is long.
It's very long.
My challenge with Quap has actually been managing to get the Shadow Strike off. I've always had a hard time.
Yeah, and now they've increased your cast range. Yep, duration is 15 seconds of up to a 50% movement slow. Now, you recover your move speed during the 15 seconds. And it deals currently a total of 425 damage. That's a 425 damage nuke on a 4-second cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just sink that in. And you've also got a 700 damage nuke on a 40-second cooldown. And then the only downside is that people can be denied under Shadow Strike. And I think if that got changed, we could see it fixed. The only other thing is, though, if you just wait until they're already at pretty low health to use your big nukes, then they have no chance to really deny. So it's kind of a win-loss thing. I feel like if you learn to play her really well, you can get around the deny thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if this is enough of a buff. Razor, that's quite an increase to his strength gain.
Keep in mind that is 0.6 per level. That's about 1 strength every 2 levels extra.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say it's about 10 strength at top level, which is an overclub.
You know, it's significant to make him a little tankier. And
Unstable
then
current slow duration increase. This is a slight nerf to Bristle, actually.
What?
I hate to say it, but Nasal Goo. That's the one that when you target something on Razor, it slows him down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is a nerf to anybody who spams.
Yeah, but Batrider's not targeted. So it doesn't actually proc the slow.
Yeah, but I mean, if you auto-attack him, if you do anything to him, if you're a support, this is a nerf to supports, basically.
Yeah. Now, backstab now works when attacking allied units. This actually helps Riki a lot in lane, and I like this for newer players.
Oh yeah, for
Because
denying, I've always wondered why it doesn't work for denying, and that's really bothered me.
even headshot procs on deny. So I think this is a really good change. I don't think it'll bring him into the competitive scene simply because of
We
the
have,
nature of the hero.
we've seen Riki picks. I know
Yeah, of
I've
course, but
seen them.
it won't make him prominent, of course.
No, yeah.
He's still
I think
like the
the
pocket.
idea is to never have anyone who's prominent. Like, not that it'll ever happen, but
Yeah.
it's kind of, like a change that could be made. Shadow Demon, this Agnum's upgrade is a big deal, as far
It's
as maybe a mid Shadow Demon, but I mean, we've talked about it's not
yeah.
that realistic that he'll get an Ags, but this is really, really good. It's like you have a permanent diffusal that's on a much lower cooldown and etc. And it means you can use 2 purges in a fight, right one and after another, or I mean you can have one every 20
Potentially
seconds.
1,200 damage if you get a Soul Catcher off on your max level.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially 1,200 magic damage.
I mean,
That's a
Shadow
lot.
Demon has a huge magic damage output. Sometimes it's just hard to hit, and then he's very squishy. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Requiem of Soul's secondary debuff, the one that no one knows about. This is
Please explain.
I need to make sure I'm right about how this works. It's you look at Requiem of Souls, you're like, damage, great, and then there's this other thing, and you're like, too much text, not gonna read it. Let's see. Captured souls are used to deal massive damage as well as slowing and reducing the attack damage of nearby enemy units. Now you're saying, okay, that's decent, but you can just build armor and do the same thing. Not for 50%.
Mm-hmm.
50% for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, Sniper has a rapier. Oh no, what do we do? Well, we Shadow Fiend ulti him, and now he's got half a rapier. Like, that is how much difference this is. I really like that change. I didn't realize it didn't affect Magic Commune units, but that's a really nice thing, because Shadow Fiend is a glass cannon. This actually buffs the Shadow Blade build on him, where you go in, you initiate with Requiem, and you just clean people up. Which, if any of you guys managed to catch my stream last night, the game after I played with you guys for Nessa,
Mm-hmm.
I had like 3 triple kills in a row with my ulti as Shadow Fiend. It was utterly ridiculous. Like, for some reason they kept running into it. I don't know why, but
Skills.
yeah. Now, Silencer's getting a huge buff.
Yeah, and I mean, I've told you Silencer's my favorite hero. So now he's getting more armor, more attack speed. This allows him to scale better
I
into
think
the late
attack
game.
speed is really big, though, because
it pushes him into the late game more. It allows him to be relevant for longer. And something I've noticed, silences, and I know I've talked about this before, have been getting buffed. The focus has moved from stuns to silences because it's a very different style of play. It encourages different item progressions. It changes the way you team fight. I think it's a higher skill cap.
It makes you kind of required to have a diverse team of both right clickers and spellcasters. Because if you pick an all casting team, they're going to just pick silences, and you're doomed, possibly quite literally. But if you pick all right clickers, they're going to say, okay, we need stuns. Well, if you pick both, then they have to somehow pick both. And there's very few, I don't think, any heroes that have both a silence and a stun easily, and we've lost stream again. Oh my gosh. It just starts dropping frames, like...
massively.
Like, it just said it dropped 1,300 frames.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, mine is perfectly fine, so...
Just gotta check it.
Not Twitch, probably. Probably something with your XSplit settings, or, I don't know.
I will do my best to fix it by tomorrow, guys. I do not know what's going on, but, yeah, we will work our hardest to get that for you, because it was really disappointing tonight. And it would be a real shame to have, like, the best of 5 final cutting in and out, but...
I know, that would be unfortunate.
But speaking of Heroes of Silence, Scarif Mage getting a buff. I like this a lot. Concussive Shot is the one that hones in naturally, so it's getting a buff to do some real damage. And it also can hit in an AoE when it actually hits. You just can't really target it in an AoE. So this doesn't really help his laning stage, except the base move speed does help him last hit a little easier.
That's really nice. It makes him really fast. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
fastest, right? There's nobody. No, someone might have 330.
Luna might have more.
Yeah, she might have 330. I'm not sure. Okay, so sniper fixed sniper's acquisition range not matching his maximum attack range. So I think that just fixed bugs with his max range attack.
Skywrath is now 5 move speed slower than Luna.
Okay, yeah, so she's 330.
So I mean, we're not gonna like win any races here, Skywrath, but he's pretty fast now, and that actually makes him a little bit of a better ganker and a better roamer too. So we might see him start to get it picked up as a roaming support. Still think we need to see him get picked up as a mid, but the problem is the Pugna still being somewhat common, and that's nah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pugna for a while, but that word's still powerful. Spirit Breaker, Nether Strike cast range increased.
Okay.
So that's...
And Scepter range with it.
Mm-hmm. And that is really nice too. And the rebalancing of the cooldown I also think is important.
This makes him really scary late game. A minute-long cooldown. Now, I want to say that increase Skywrath armor by 1. I do like that idea, Psycho. Actually, I will say. He needs a little more armor. Let me check Spirit Breaker, though. I want to see the Ags upgrade. His Ags upgrade has always been so good, and when I started playing, I realized this and picked it up. Because it causes Greater Bash to hit an AoE, decreases cooldown down to 20 seconds, and increases cast range.
So I would say it still does all of that, except the range is now 850 instead of...
Well, it was 850 anyway, at max, but it's always going to be 850.
Yeah. Well, it was 700 before at max, too, so it's just giving it max.
The fact that it's on a 20-second cooldown, though, means you can use it twice in a team fight. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's AoE means that you can potentially Nether Strike a whole team. Like, a whole team with Nether Strike. That is pretty big. I think it gives him much more team fight presence, and, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Sven, base damage increase, so, you know, swipe up to Sven, make his very first few levels a lot easier. The TA, this sounds kind of like a bug fix or an unintentional bug fix. You know, it's not like a bug,
I like that change, though.
It just makes sense. It was a quick fix to her. Now, the Terrorblade nerfs, because we knew they were necessary. Strength gain reduced a decent amount, so this will make the hero a lot squishier, which I think is something that needs to happen. And,
also making his illusions squishier.
Yeah, and so the reflection no longer slows through no longer stays through magic immunity. That makes sense. Yeah. And then the duration rebalance is really important. I like that they didn't affect his pushing ability or his ultimate, because that's what really makes him. It just cut down his ganking ability, because he shouldn't...
I played him the other night, Renessa, and literally while the enemy team took down one of our towers, I took down 2 of their towers and their entire racks before they were done with it. It was utterly ridiculous. The other ridiculous part was that they didn't TP, but that was just stupidity. But yeah, I didn't think he was that strong because I've been playing mostly Captain's Mode, but that's a big nerf and a necessary one, I'd think. But he's still viable, I'd say.
He's still very powerful. So.
It's just, okay, you guys have learned to play this year in pubs, that's cute. Now we're going to up the skill cap so that only people who are good with him can play him well. And the rest of them will be report for feed and noob.
He's still easy, he's still overpowered. He's going to need further nerfs.
But this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, this is a nice change. Again, not going too far.
Okay, so Tidehunter gets another 20% damage reduction.
Iceberg loves Tidehunter. I mean, he used to be really OP. I think he got nerfed quite a bit, and now there's been a lot of changes. I think
Iceberg just loves team fight.
Yeah, this is more team fight. I like that the Anchor Smash works on ancient creeps, just to help. I don't know how important that'll be. We saw a few teams run a position 1 Tidehunter, so...
No, it's not position 1, it's for the offlane. Because think about it. You put Tidehunter in the Dire offlane, okay?
I mean, he can't farm ancient creeps when he's that low level, though.
He gives them 60% damage reduction. They only do 40% of their damage to him. Yeah, but and it's physical damage. I think he could actually possibly farm them. I'd have to test it out.
Slow.
It would be slow, but... I mean, for getting your Blink Dagger a little faster, it could be really nice. Getting a refresher in the late game, it could be really nice.
The Tinker change.
is a bug fix. I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
even.
I mean,
Oh
oh
wait,
yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense because E-Blade should just block auto attack. So
yeah,
that's a
it
bug
should
fix.
it should work because it's magic damage too. But
Mhm. Um.
it's a pretty big bug
Yeah.
too, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Crag Exterior stun duration rescaled. I really like this. It lets you put points in Crag Exterior. It makes Tiny better late game. I just think it needs to go through BKB. It would make him better against BKB carries. Although we've been seeing him get picked up on
He does
Fnatic
so much
times.
damage, Battle Fury,
Ooh.
cleave crap. So.
Troll's getting a big buff. Cast point improved from 0.2 to 0.
Yeah, we saw him. He was really popular, when he first came out, as is usual for heroes, and he fell off a bit when they changed him around. So this is just trying to bring him back. Now, the Tuskar, I think, increasing the skill cap and
But also increasing his pub play.
yeah,
because
this
now
is
you can-
hilarious. Now the amount of heroes you have makes you okay. So first of all, you have time to make a snowball and then launch the snowball. You have
Yeah.
time when you're making the snowball. You add allies to it, so you can probably leave allies out who maybe you don't want to roll in, like a sniper. And
It could
then
actually also, though, you can now disable help for it because you couldn't previously since it was just kind of a random thing. The same thing with Tiny, where you can't just disable help for Tiny and then he always throws creeps. But I really like this. This helps your pub play a lot.
yeah, and then you roll faster and you do more damage the more heroes you have in it. So let's
Goodness,
see.
this is
Undying.
big.
Soul Rip gets better.
Yeah. But Soul Rip
Tombstone
is
zombies
huge now.
get better. The zombies no longer give experience or gold.
Can I mention that the AoE on Soul Rip is now
Yeah.
bigger than Nagasiren's song?
Yeah, it's very large.
Like, yeah, that's how big this is. Max have
No, it's
threshold.
not bigger than
Ooh.
Naga's song. This is
Oh
an
no,
area.
Tombstone zombies? No.
Yeah, the zombies no longer give gold, so this is a zombie
But my
buff.
favorite thing ever was
But the
playing Axe
Tombstone-
against Undying
but
and taunting all the zombies at once and getting all the gold when I spun.
The tombstone now gives more money to make up for that, to encourage you to
Doesn't,
actually
no,
hit the tombstone.
nope. It would literally, like, rain money like I was at the club or something, because I've been to the club, you know.
And then Flesh Golem does affect magic immune units. So these are buffs to Undying again. He doesn't have a disable.
Status change.
So
in my
he could be an offlaner at this point.
Now I can only do that with Broodmother, though.
Well, Broodmother
Sorry, that
got
was one of my
buffed.
small joys
So
in life. So
maybe
yeah.
we'll see her more often, and you'll be able to.
It's
have
honestly a little bit of a nerf to Axe if he was actually being picked in competitive.
He is being picked quite a bit in competitive.
No, if Undying was.
Oh, if Undying, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Axe has been picked. Okay, so Ursa, Fury Swipe's no longer unique attack modifier. You don't have to go for Vlad's anymore, but you can still go for Vlad's and get another unique attack modifier, etc. So, nice change for Ursa. Very powerful. We like Ursa. He does a lot of team fight. He's fun. That makes sense.
It's fun to cast, yeah.
Alright, when Vengeful Spirit is slain, her killer is inflicted with a negative vengeance aura, which decreases the damage of her killer and their nearby allies until she revives. Whoa.
Wait.
So when
By how much?
When Venge dies.
Wait, by how much though?
I don't know. Maybe they haven't decided. I have no idea. So when Venge dies.
Oh, okay. I've got it now.
Oh, negative vengeance armor. So it's her.
Yeah.
It's her aura the other way. Yeah. So when she dies, so when she swaps in and dies, suddenly everybody around the person who killed her and the person who killed her has 12, 14, etc. % less damage. That's so good. That is License to Feed. That's amazing. And
does it work with Bloodstone?
No.
It only says when
has to
she's
kill her.
slain.
Yeah, someone has to kill her. She can't.
Okay.
She can't.
Let me just say
suicide or
something
be
though.
denied.
Don't try this with Bloodstone because it looks like it might reduce the damage your allies deal if you kill yourself.
No, she's killing herself. Just don't deny her.
No, I think if she kills herself, it will inflict her killer with the
Yeah, but she's dead and in the well.
Oh, around this killer. Okay, I understand now. We're all good.
Yeah. All right. Visage. Great
Ursa Mask of
Chill.
Madness. Yes. Ursa
Great
Mask of
Chill.
Madness will be insane. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that. That's gonna be insane. Nope, no straw poll, please, Captain Evil. That was not important at all.
Alright. So the Grave Chill changed another nerf to Visage. He keeps getting these subtle nerfs. He's not
Well,
even picked that
it's.
often, but he just keeps getting these little tiny nerfs until someone finally thinks that he
I don't think it's
was
much of a change, honestly. You
no,
don't
it's
need the
not.
cooldown that early in laning because you can't afford to spam it, and then later on, the cooldown's the same. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I spam Grave Chill a lot. Honestly, so what you actually use Grave Chill for is farming the jungle with your other support. So this will make it a little harder to do the jungle
so you
farming
can
route.
kite better, yeah.
Because usually you only get one level in Grave Chill and then max up the Soul Assumption. So it'll make that a little harder. Warlock buff. Yeah,
Yeah,
Warlock
buff on his heal / damage over time.
And
A
buff
nice
on the
change to Upheaval, which I felt was really necessary. I mean, it doesn't need to like not have a cooldown or something because then if it gets canceled, whatever. But now if it does get canceled, it's not like a whole minute till you can use it again. It's only a little more than half a minute or a lot more than half a minute. So
Yeah. All right.
we got Wind Runner, which
Wind
since
Ranger
the skill's not
activating
called
Wind Run.
Range, yeah. But activating Wind Run now disjoints incoming attack projectiles.
Yeah.
This is OP. This is the new mid. This is the best mid in the game right now, I honestly think, with Wind Run. Like, oh no, that auto attack that's coming for me is going to kill me. Well, let me just hit E and save my life completely. If a creep kills Venge, are a creep. Oh my god.
Yeah, and her Ags for her ult is much better.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, a Witch Doctor buff! Second favorite hero, Witch Doctor buff. Witch Doctor buff. Maledict cooldown reduced. I think this is necessary because the Maledict cooldown is really long, but this makes Maledict even more overpowered. And then Death Ward, huh, it's even better! This is amazing.
I do want to mention one thing about the Windrunner, though. This makes MKB Ags a really viable build, because then you can push from the low ground, not miss, and you can also mini-stun really easily with the procs. Like, I think that is a really strong build now. Also Daedalus, obviously, but that doesn't give you the low ground push advantage as much. But yeah, Witch Doctor, the Maledict cooldown reduced is big.
Maledict is so powerful.
I still want to see either a cast time or an AoE change for that. And I do kind of still want to see it not be affected by healing. Because if you get mech'd during that, Maledict was wasted. Now the Death Ward base attack time improvement, that is just broken.
Yeah, that's really broken. Really broken.
That is do not need.
So much more damage. But, oh well. Wraith King, Mortal Strike damage ratio increased, so better in better all the time.
Better in the everywhere. And base armor reduced by 1. So he dies just a little quicker, and then respawns and dies a little quicker the second time. And finally, Zeus. Arc Lightning cast point improved. That's really good for mid Zeus. That is, like, insane, because you want to use Arc Lightning to last hit, and now you've got a really good cast point on that. It used to be kind of a slow cast time, so you would miss last hits if you weren't really skilled with the hero, because it's now much better than his right clicks. Like, there's no doubt. Lightning Bolt flying vision range reduced a little bit. True sight range reduced a little bit too. And there we go.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on with Twitch.
Okay. I don't know. Now, something really important pointed out. Lightning Bolt can be cast on the ground, affecting the closest enemy hero in a 250 range. Which means Lightning Bolt can be cast on the ground and reveal invis. So when Techies comes out, Lightning Bolt will reveal mines. He is a walking gem.
That might be... Okay. If we have any evidence the Techies is coming, that's it. Right there. That is the whole evidence. All of the evidence is right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I'm honestly pretty scared for Techies, seeing as I may have to switch back to Captain's mode for a few days.
Well, he's not
the Armageddon of pugs.
Yeah.
pubs, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of that. Okay. Animal
Items.
courier ground respawn time
Okay, so
reduced. That's good.
I've been watching, when I watch Pro Dota, when the bottles start coming out, the supports always rotate to the mid lane and try to kill the courier. So this is just kind of a like, guys, you can kill the courier when it comes back faster. I like the Bloodstone heal increase.
Your Twitch stream has been terminated. What are you talking about?
What? Well, that is unfortunate. So are you not live currently?
No, I'm back now.
Yeah.
It just popped up and said your Twitch stream has been terminated, which is different than dropped frames.
Oh, your XSplit said that. I thought Twitch sent you a message and said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, Revo, what were you doing?
Well, these patch notes get a little wild, Renessa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you are back up for me as well. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Right, so clarity 135 over 40 seconds. So huge buff to clarity. I love that.
Ooh, that is an
no,
enormous
it's not.
buff.
No, it's not. It's not a buff. You get 100 over 30 seconds. Now you get 135 over 40 seconds. So that's...
It's still faster mana, I want to say.
No. You get 5 more mana, but it takes 10 extra seconds. It's slower mana. I misread it. It's slower mana.
No, you get 35 more mana.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I can't read multiple times. Got it. I'm sleepy, people.
Yeah.
I'm definitely sleepy.
Oh my goodness. Vanessa, you're about to get a influx of viewers because I'm giving up.
You're giving up?
I am done. I am done with it. I don't even care anymore. I don't.
I'm telling you, can't watch there. Revo quit. Oh, poor Revo. Alright, well, turn your video on, and I will add your video to the...
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
And I'll just do a window capture. We'll get your video up in here.
Okay, let me actually just quit XSplit so it will work. Yeah, I know a stream recording is apparently currently active, but it's not. And let me... move so you can see me. And, whoa. I look hideous.
I'm sure you do not look hideous.
No, my hair was like ruffled beyond everything. Okay. There we go. Alright.
This is going to be a little bit jerry-rigged the last minute, but that's okay.
I really like the Blood Pact heal change, though. That's an extra 100 HP. Easy. 500 HP heal is double mech, I want to say.
Maybe. There we go. There's my jerry-rigged video.
Manta Style now resets the current attack and spell target priority.
Wait, hang on. I gotta catch up here. Give me a second.
What is that?
Sorry, what?
What is that? Is it saying that it does
what is it, for Yules?
For Manta. I skipped Yules because I'm stupid.
Hang on. Okay, we're gonna go back to Yules and then we'll figure out Manta. So Cyclone now deals 50 damage to enemy units when they land. That's wonderful for supports because a lot of supports get Yules, but it doesn't do that much to them. And the fact that you can Yules yourself when you're magic immune is also really nice, I think, because I think if you personally cast a BKB, you should still be able to do nice things to yourself.
Yeah, like save yourself from stuff.
Pretty much.
And not lose your double damage rune. Because that's the only thing that was going to get you the kill before you cast BKB. I'm a little bitter because of a game I played once. Still. Anyways, I do like the 50 damage to enemy units. This is an Invoker buff, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is such a big Invoker buff. It's kind of a Puck buff if you really build Yules on him. I hate Yules on Puck. It's like a worse...
It's like a way to guarantee that you can get the phase shift blink and everything else going, though, so...
Yeah, but you already have phase shift to do that. I think people that build Yules on Puck need to learn how to actually play Puck first, and then decide if they need a Yules. But That's personal opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so Manta, mirror image now resets the current attack and spell targeting priority. So I think that means if someone has an attack on you or is targeting a spell at you, it removes it so that they have to retarget, which I think it does with some things and not everything. So I'm not sure. Oh, Fruit points out that the Yule's buff is a
I should
blink.
look at your chat. Yeah.
Is a blink nerf. Because if you Yule someone, sometimes they can just blink away instantly. So giving Yule's damage means that when they land, they take damage and they can't blink. So it gives your team time to get there and damage them without the insta blink. So this is actually a nerf to Puck. Is it? No, it's not really a nerf to Puck because it's not going to do damage if you do it to yourself. Never mind.
Yeah. And if it did that, you would never use it on yourself again.
Yeah.
And
you get to Yule's, but you
idea.
do damage to yourself and you can't blink anymore. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
New meta, suicide with Yules.
Yeah, pass on that. Okay, so Mjolnir, chain lightning damage reduced.
I just want to mention that, I really like your overlay stuff. That is sweet. But I want to mention that I just saw a commercial for the Unbeatable HyperX, and tonight we had Isurus HyperX versus CMB HyperX. So
oh goodness,
they're beatable, but
only by other HyperX. So
anyways.
It probably doesn't really count. Okay, so Mjolnir, the second thing, static shock area of effect is now centered around the unit with the static charge rather than around the attacker. Okay, that makes sense.
Stuff's a ranged heroes, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But I think it's more of a bug fix kind of thing, because it doesn't make sense that it would have centered around the attacker.
Yeah, I agree. And then fixed chain lightning not functioning properly when it procs while the previous proc is still bouncing. So this is what I was talking about. Maelstrom and Mjolnir, when you use them, only one proc goes out. And while that proc is out, you can't actually get a second one. That's why so many people have been building double unique attack modifiers with Maelstrom, just because it takes so long for that proc to go. So,
what are they saying, though? Is it supposed to do that, or is it not supposed to do that? This is very vague.
You're supposed to be able to proc it multiple times and have those procs bouncing around. It's not supposed to be only one proc at a time.
Okay. Sharing wards with allies now requires a control key override. Thank goodness for that.
So
wards can no longer be placed in the fountain areas, so just in case people don't read patch notes, which they don't, let me just tell you.
So if you control, you give it to someone. If you don't control, you place it. That's really nice, because you know what the biggest problem I've had is? Trying to place sentry wards in fights and accidentally giving the sentry ward to someone else or placing it on myself and having it cooldown rather than placing it on the ground, which has been so insanely frustrating.
I want to mention this now. They also have not changed Punk at all. Again, there's a slight nerf to him with the Yule Scepter, but that's a very situational
like if you Yule
nerf.
Him, it is a slight nerf. Yeah. So
very slight.
I think Puck is balanced though. I mean, like
I do
lots
too.
of
And
damage.
if they touch him, I'm gonna.
You'll be upset.
Hurt somebody. Yeah.
All right. Pipe of Insight. Pipe health regen reduced.
Pipe now. I'm getting loading video from you, Renessa.
I don't actually have mine playing because I can't stream and play it, so I don't have quality settings.
If they are throttling the school's internet, I'm going to riot. I swear I will riot.
Alright, well hopefully someone will let me know if my stream dies, but I do not think it will. I don't have any dropped frames or any issues, actually. So I don't know. Let's see. Pipe now provides Insight Aura, which grants 4 health regeneration to nearby allies. So your personal health regen goes down, but when you have Pipe around, it gives health. So Pipe has an aura health regen. So I think the overall regen might go up.
What it is it's meaning that when you build Pipe, you don't lose the headdress.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. No,
yeah, because you
like
previously did, and it didn't make much sense. But now you're getting that. I really like that.
I've always wondered why Pipe didn't have a AoE health thingy like Mech did. So, Rod of Atos. Cripple ability cooldown reduced from 12 to 10. Another buff to Atos. And then let's see. Scythe of Vice. Hex units, base movement speed. There we go. Hex movement's base movement speed increased from 100 to 140. So when you sight someone, they don't get slowed quite as much. Shadow Amulet. The Fade no longer requires the target to be stationary. Basically, Shadow Amulet is the new Shadow Blade.
No, it's you can run away while you're Shadow Amuleting.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also still initiate with it. It is you to buy the Shadow Amulet first rather than the Claymore first.
In some cases, I'd say, yeah. And it's kind of nice for allies, which you can do. Added the option to require a halt command in order to cancel a town portal scroll. Thank goodness. Now, if only they can, like, force me to hold shift for that.
Wait, added an option to require a halt command in order to cancel. Oh, so you go into your settings and you say, well, that's really nice. That's really nice. Now, okay, this is probably making the game a little bit too easy. Maybe.
I like that change because I've done it too many times. In critical team fights.
Oh wait.
I mean, it's just a quality of life thing. No, if Shadow Blade and Shadow Amulet were literally the same thing, you could buy a Shadow Amulet and become Riki because there's no duration on that. It's just like, oh, how long do you want to be in base for?
I misunderstood it because someone said something earlier, but you can move and then you remain stationary. Oh, that would make it really hard to. I feel like you'd end up canceling it. But I like the town portal change thing. It does make the game significantly easier.
Wait. There's a buff to Bristleback we're missing. I'm reading through the bug fixes so we don't miss much here.
Yeah, we were
Fixed Hex disabling Bristleback passive ability. That was a bug? Really?
What do you mean? What was?
Hex isn't going to disable Bristleback's passive anymore.
What?
Yeah, there's no counter. Bristleback walks into a bar. There is no counter. Fixed bugs that allowed heroes to ignore Axis Berserker's Call, which is stupid.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Timbersaw's Chakram will slow more. A little bit of a buff to Void.
Phoenix actually gets stopped by Void's Chronosphere.
Here, you go from the top, I'll go from the bottom. This will work.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll just mention the interesting ones.
You've probably got the interesting ones, but Lycan Summon Wolves will no longer summon onto inaccessible terrain. That's good.
I like that units that are not owned by the player, no longer you tab through them. So if someone DCs, I don't want to tab to their hero. It's annoying.
Well, it is useful at times. I hope that's a thing you can change off and on, but fixed a bug with multiple instances of Windrunner's focus fire. What? Fixed incorrect messages in the Aegis is picked up at the same time as it is being denied, so who gets it is my question, but these are really, like, odd bugs here.
Yeah, oh my gosh, there's so many.
Rubik's telekinesis stun will no longer be interrupted if telekinesis is interrupted. Wait, huh? Courier abilities will no longer give magic stick charges? What?
I didn't realize that they did.
Well, they definitely weren't supposed to.
That is so
Necrophose's status buff icon shows the remaining duration. I like that a lot.
Fix the angles that Power Cox pushes you towards. Alright, well, there's a lot of bug fixes here. So,
and you guys can read patch notes.
General impressions.
Fixed Wraith King losing his Aegis of the Immortal and Reincarnation if he died while a duel was active anywhere on the map.
That is a hilarious bug!
Anywhere on the map. Like, it could be in the other team's fountain. And Skeleton King would just kind of lose his Aegis and Reincarnation.
Alright, well, here are my opinions.
Team fights.
Yeah, so there's a huge team fight emphasis. We haven't really seen too much changed as far as ganking goes. I think we see initiators buffed a little bit more. We obviously see some of the crowd favorites have these really slight, subtle nerfs. So I don't think it's going to knock them out of the meta entirely. I think it will just encourage a little more creativity in picks. We saw the ogre buff, so we know that Ice Frog's been watching and has seen some of the more fun things that teams have been doing and
Thank you,
trying
Ice
to
Frog,
encourage that. Now we have
for the
qualifiers
Queen of
coming.
Pain too.
Yeah, we
Yep.
have qualifiers coming. We want a meta shift. We want to see how teams do. You know what? They may have a lineup that they're amazing at, but you shouldn't be a pro player if you can only do one lineup. So I really like the timing of this patch. I think it's well done. I hope that there is actually another patch before TI4 to switch up the meta again, because right now teams do have too much time to adjust, and I think that this needs to be a dynamic process.
Keep in mind, it's a lot quicker.
What do you mean?
It's a lot sooner. Sorry, my girlfriend texted me and she was like, that patch analysis isn't still going on. Your stream is offline. I'm like, but there were problems.
Well, we're almost done. I'm trying to wrap it up. I really need to go to bed. I have a
Yeah, I
game
do too.
wanna
I have an
watch
exam
early,
in
so
7
true.
hours, 45 minutes. Oh, great.
Alrighty.
Wonderful.
Well,
I'm so excited.
tell us your impressions, and then we will end the stream. We can go to bed. And
I'm so excited for all of this. I think honestly one of the best changes is the Omni Knight, the Skywrath Mage, and the Tidehunter. I think those are really going to turn games around. Oh, and the Zeus.
Yeah.
Simply because it might mean techies. I kind of hope it doesn't, but there's a side of me that hopes it does.
I think they're going to keep giving us little tiny itty bitty pieces that signify techies.
There's also a Cloud9 pennant in the game files.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to look at techies are confirmed pretty much. Okay, techies have been confirmed.
I mean, of course techies is going to happen.
No, they've already got items added for techies. Barrel, slingshot, cart, squee costume, spleen costume. That's techies.
See. We'll see, but maybe, you know.
New mute all chat feature introduced. Ooh, I like that.
I do like that. That is nice.
There's other stuff that, I mean, if you guys browse Reddit, you'll find it.
Yeah. Keep a lookout, guys. You know, you can message us what you think.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to put this up on YouTube tomorrow. I'll highlight it. I'll put it on YouTube. I'm sure there's a million other patch analyses out there you should probably check out. I bet BTS has an amazing one.
Check Steam real quick, Renessa.
Yeah,
I just sent you something pretty funny, actually.
Alrighty.
What you can now do with Kunkka. You used to make a heart, now you can make other things. And that proves it does work on Kunkka himself.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I'm assuming this is maybe up in the client or trial, whatever. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking with us. We're sorry that Revo's stream died. I know we had a few people who transitioned over. I know we had a few people who were watching both. For Lubin Petty. But anyway, thank you very much. I think we're going to call it a night. We both have things going on in the morning. But we'll both be back tomorrow with more casting, and hopefully we'll figure out Revo's stream issues before then.
If not, we'll figure something out, guys.
Yeah, we've got a lot of options.
We've got alternatives.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful night. You know where you can find us. Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. All right, I'm gonna get going.
Alright, bye everyone. I always leave my stream on for a few extra seconds to make sure I don't get cut off.